This is the Discover Music Show, bringing you the best new sounds and interviews with the hottest new rising stars.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kevin Kuzno, and you're listening to Patch. And the new single, Interlude, My Love, from the EP, Space Between the Heartbeats.
Push you against the wall and kiss you like you're edible. You ask how much I love you and I tell you it's unmeasurable. I'm hard to handle, but I handle you with care. So when you throw a strop, you soften quick, cause you know that I'm there. Feel me what I feel, looking at me with sleepy eyes. Neck tilted perfect for the difference in between our height. Light breathing, mellow moods in this low light. And we ain't posting pics because we stay each other's cosign. This feels like the perfection of a candle flicker. Been around the block and both of us have got the sticker. I stick with you, but never be in your
And
way.
joining us on the line from London is Patch. Patch, welcome to the studio.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm not too bad. And you began making music 5 years ago after entering an online rap competition. Would you say you were a natural at rapping?
Yeah, I would say I was a natural at rapping, or more natural with words. I sort of started out with poetry, and I've, just never really found it very difficult to express myself that way.
And you've been writing poetry since childhood with a keen interest to explore philosophical ideas. Who's your favourite philosopher?
My favorite philosopher is it's a guy. He's a philosopher / sort of essayist. Is a guy called Emerson, Ralph Waldo Emerson. He's most known for an essay he did called Self-Reliance, which was all about being self-reliant, and that everything that happens around you is dictated by the way that you live, the way that you think, and that you can sort of control what's happening in your life by being self-reliant. Like, you're not just open to external forces just hitting you anytime. So yeah, he's my favorite. It really resonated with me when I read that, and I sort of just read that particular essay over and over.
Is he still alive?
Oh no, he's from the 80s. I think he died in the early 1900s, or maybe even early 1800s. I mean, late 1800s he died then.
Oh, okay. So at least he's not wearing a toga then.
No.
That's good. And you've applied your philosophy into a movement, I hear. Drunken Philosophy, Embrace Your Contradictions is the name of it.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, so that came from the fact that, the Embrace Your Contradictions is a concept that I sort of came up with because of the fact, it came from, personally, I feel like quite a conflicted person, and I feel that people that know me, for one thing, wouldn't expect the other sides of me. But I want to express all parts of who I am. So the Drunken Philosophy bit is basically, I'm a very party hedonistic type person. I've done a lot of traveling around the world and just doing sort of crazy random experiences, and a lot of drinking and that sort of thing.
Sounds fun.
It's been great. But people that know me for that would never know that I'm really into philosophy. I'm an avid reader. I'm very, very introspective type person. And so I just brought the two together as a little phrase. It's a bit of a mouthful, and I kind of lead a lot of the time these days with Embrace Your Contradictions, because it's easier, it's more simple for people to understand straight away. But I think that everyone has those conflicts in them, not necessarily the same conflicts. And I just kind of want to encourage people to be themselves in every way, because sometimes society or friendship groups kind of push you to be whatever they sort of know you for. And I don't think that that's how you should live.
Understood. Okay. Well, the new EP, Space Between the Heartbeats, is out now. And how does it compare to your previous EP? You had one out called The Pirate, I believe.
Yeah, The Pirate EP. They're very, very different. So the Pirate EP was definitely focused on a lot of my traveling experiences. There was some a lot of partying experiences and that sort of thing. And even though there are philosophical lines and moments of introspection, you won't, unless you're really tuning in, you'll only really pick up the party vibe. And those songs were they're great to sort of do in events where it's a rave and that sort of thing. But I didn't have any material or that much material ready for me to do more intimate gigs and things like that. So Space Between the Heartbeats was written at a time where I was a bit darker, a bit more quiet and to myself, and I just felt like I needed to show something that contrasts, so that people are not thinking, oh, he's just a drunken wild guy. And Space Between the Heartbeats is very, very personal and saying things that, for those around me, people around me that are close to me, they learned things about me from listening to that, things that I maybe not felt comfortable to say.
Well, we've heard a little bit of your new single from that EP called Interlude, My Love, and indeed it's very introspective, very interesting actually. Does it relate to an actual event or person?
Yeah. It relates to an actual girl that it's like a girl that I'd liked years ago when I was in college. But I never actually spoke to her at the time. And then years later, and then she's one of these girls that, like, with my friends, I joke, oh, imagine if I saw blah, blah. And then one day I did see her and I had already built up this like sort of fantasy person in my head. And when I actually met her, she was like just as good or better than that. And we had a little thing, and it is written about her.
Okay, well, it was produced by a Canadian producer, Skin Deep. Did you do much work for the final mix? Were you involved in the final mix down?
Yeah, I was involved in the final mix. So we had connected actually. We've actually never met in person. Me and Skin Deep were connected through someone I met while I was in Montreal, and she was like, hey, I've got this producer friend, da 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 da. So then we just started corresponding over email. He heard my music, I heard his beats, whatever. So he sent me that, and I recorded it at home and sent him a draft. He liked what I did, and he was like, and then I just said, I'm going to get it mixed over at this end. So yeah, I was in the sessions in a studio in Acton called Jukebox. There, we were getting down with the final mix of the records, but it's quite a bare record. It's quite simple in itself anyway, so it wasn't too complicated to mix.
Well, we're going to play it right now. Patch, thanks so much for joining us in the studio, and good luck with all your endeavours.
Thank you very much for having me.
This is the Discover Music Show, bringing you the best new sounds and interviews with the hottest new rising stars.
Push you against the wall and kiss you like you're edible. You ask how much I love you and I tell you it's unmeasurable. I'm hard to handle, but I handle you with care. So when you throw a strop, you soften quick, cause you know that I'm there. Feel what I feel, looking at me with sleepy eyes. Neck tilted perfect for the difference in between our height. Light breathing, mellow moods in this low light. And we ain't posting pics because we stay each other's cosign. This feels like the perfection of a candle flicker. Been around the block and both of us have got the sticker. I stick with you, but never be in your way. Nurture who you become, watch you grow every day. Don't mean to say that we won't argue, cause we will. But out of it, the positives is what we will distill. I love learning with you, I love taking this route. Every turning is true, you know. My love, my love, my love, my love, my love for you flows easy. Flows easy for your smile. Camden Market Court, you had to take a double take. Still as gorgeous as the times I used to see you down in Holloway. And now I got you all the way in my abode. And know the little details that you don't want no butter on your toast. I make a toast to us and down the double in my cup. Made me catch a buzz, but you become my system's favourite drug. Love without attachment, that's when it is healthiest. The money bring the freedom, but the happy is the wealthiest. Your wealth within is now reflected in your circumstance. I love to watch you prosper and you're making life look like a dance. I got the rhythm of you. And while I'm stitching up my path, I save a rivet for you, you know. My love, my love, my love, my love, my love for you flows easy. Flows easy for you.